Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I'm one of your hosts, Jack Neckley Thompson. As always and as usual, I'm joined by Kristian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
Alive?
I understand. I should have had a really good day today because I said my mum bought me toys and temporarily that put me in an absolutely incredible mood. Then the toys were fiddly and meant I broke other toys and that's put me in a really bad mood. So, yeah, just here you go. A little story about my day for you.
Fair. I think we had more people come in today than I think should be alive on Earth.
I see.
So it was a busy day. Charlie says, "Evening. I'm very sick, but I'm here. You always seem to be sick, so yeah. I think you should just announce when you're not sick."
Yeah. More newsworthy.
Chris, you're so pretty," says Katie.
Thank you.
He forgot he was wearing.
Oh, I've just thought I'd just stick with it.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Fair. No judgment. Anyway, we're here to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming.
Did you get the film info?
I forgot. I forget. I forgot that we do this. Professionalism, as you would expect.
We're like 20 films in, Jack.
Oh yeah, but I haven't really been paying attention since 2000.
It's like 15 films, I think,
19.
actually, or less. I don't know.
I just IMDb. What's this called? Spider-Man
Homecoming, which I have a complaint about, but I'll let you do. No, my complaint's not relevant to the actual film itself. My complaint is relevant to the Sony Bravia Core store. So I think we discussed the other week that is available, because obviously this isn't on Netflix, it isn't on Disney Plus. I have a 4K Blu-ray, but it's available on the Bravia Core store in IMAX. And I had 4 vouchers to redeem 4 films on the store. So I thought I'll redeem this and No Way Home in IMAX. So I've got IMAX versions of them. Did that. Never IMAX ratio. Not once. So I don't really understand why it was different.
Some of the movies on Disney Plus do that as well. Some of the IMAX movies.
That pisses me off. What,
Yeah.
really? I haven't come across any in our watch yet that have never been like it.
Iron Man 1.
No, Iron Man 1 had one shot at least. I remember it was when the explosions went behind him at the beginning. Where I introduced
one
Jericho.
shot, waste of time.
Yeah, I agree, but less of a waste of time than none at all. I don't understand what it then is.
This is a resolution thing as well.
4K? Surely it's just 4K.
Well,
Surely the resolution's just 4K,
I
right?
don't know.
Like, just mad.
Sound. IMAX is different.
Maybe,
sound.
yeah, maybe it's a sound. That's a good point.
But surely it's just Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
Basically, we all know that every element of Sony other than PlayStation is fucking pointless.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks. 22 months, good lord. Isn't IMAX a bit like... Well, that's just the speakers they put in the room.
That's just the speakers in the room, but it is a sound. Yeah, it probably is the sound more than the image.
Yeah.
I mean, it still looked great. I'm not complaining. It still
Sure
looked
did.
real good.
Yeah, but that does seem real dumb.
But basically, I may as well just watch it on my 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I've wasted a redemption. And now I feel like if I do it for No Way Home...
It's a lot more of a modern movie where this
So
is
I'm
more
hoping
of a
there
thing.
would be more...
Yeah.
But then I'll be really annoyed. There's 2 things that will happen. Either I'll redeem it, and again, it will never do it, and that'll annoy me. Or I won't, and I'll watch it on my 4K Blu-ray, and then I'll find out later that it could have done it. And that'll also annoy me. I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
I don't know what to do. It's just...
Maybe I'll buy a Sony TV and find out.
Please do.
I'm not going to do that. With a budget of 175 million...
Minutes?
Million. I correct myself. 175 million. Bloody cheapskate Sonys. and a worldwide gross of 880 million. $166,924.
Many dollar.
Many dollar indeed. Many dollar indeed. What are your general thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming?
I really like Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's a good movie, isn't it?
It's a very good movie. I do think it somehow, despite not being an origin movie, sort of suffers from the origin movie problem still. Because there's a lot of still kind of like introduction stuff for the character. This is a lot of him getting to grips with actually being Spider-Man.
Yeah. To be fair, I actually think of all three of them as an origin movie.
I can see that argument.
Not separately. I think all three of them is one big origin movie.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten Spider-Man
Yeah.
at the end of No Way Home. That was the first time we saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you, actually.
And I think that was the point. I think that's entirely intentional. Not in like a... they fucked it up and didn't really get to the point of the character. I think it was entirely intentional.
Yeah, I think you're right. It just meant, obviously, going back and watching this, like... It's the thing, actually, I've had watching all of these MCU movies through, where because we've had so many, and where we are now with some of these characters, we've had so much character development. We're going back to before the development. So it's weird. It almost is an uncanny valley thing of like...
Well, it's the same thing with the problem with a lot of the movies we had... with like Iron Man.
Yeah, it's been across the entire franchise doing it, and it's not a complaint. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not a critique, I should say. It's just an observation as I've been watching them. But I think there's some really good stuff in this. I think good 95% of the humor hits for me. There's a couple of lines, there's a couple of moments which doesn't quite.
There's, I think it's just, there is a couple of characters.
Yeah.
Who just aren't funny.
Yeah.
Flash, for one.
Flash, yeah, I agree.
I hate Flash. I hate this version of Flash. With everything I have.
I say penis.
Okay, to be fair, that's the one funny joke he had. But I don't like this version of Flash, largely because like just having this version of Flash cuts off the ability for them to do a Flash arc from the comics. Hannah says, you're welcome. Cheeky Twitch did an auto-renew of my 6-month subscription, so you stuck with me for a while. So you're saying you use real money as opposed to Amazon?
Someone loves us.
Ooh. We'll be able to buy a Magnum.
White chocolate one, I presume.
Are there others?
I don't know.
There are white chocolate Magnums and imposters. Is what there are.
Today, I had, because I ate some ice cream last night. I had some ice cream last night with chocolate ice cream with the chocolate cracking sauce on. You know the stuff?
I do, and I have a controversial opinion.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Huh.
'Cause sauce isn't meant to be a solid object.
But it's not supposed to be I'm not getting into this.
Though, isn't it? It's meant to solidify.
I think they should make a white chocolate version of that.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked they haven't.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked they haven't.
Rich says there's a new white chocolate mango and coconut Magnum. I don't know if that's... Why can't people just leave white chocolate alone?
They had me until coconut, to be fair. I think white chocolate and mango could go quite well together. And white chocolate and coconut could probably go quite well together. I don't see mango and coconut not having a bit of a fight.
No, those two things do make sense if you think about like curries. You'd have mango chutney alongside your curry, which is often coconut-based. Lots of curries
coconut-based things don't taste like coconut most of the time.
Yeah, this is also a good point. Yeah, no.
When was the last time you had a chicken korma and went, ooh, coconut? Despite the fact that it is riddled with coconut.
There was one I had that was very coconutty.
Yeah, well, that's a bad korma.
I didn't say it was a good korma.
Yeah. I didn't subscribe to Matt. Technically, you do. Wedding is some form of subscription.
Yep.
Or wedding.
A marriage
is some form of subscription, not just the wedding.
Anyway, Spider-Man Homecoming. I swear Spider-Man Homecoming. As I say, a couple of humour moments which don't overly land for me, but mostly it's all there. I think the action stuff is really good. I fully stand by I think this version of Spider-Man is the best one we've had.
I don't think there is a contest.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Everyone keeps having this argument.
By the way, these are annoying me now. They're coming off.
Yes, that's fair. Rich says, I love Peshwari naans with their coconuttiness. I agree. I always get a Peshwari naan. It's the best naan.
This is fair. Anyway, Peter Parker.
But I don't think there is... everyone's always like, oh, yeah, but Maguire. Maguire? Shit. Well, honestly, shit. Stop crying. Everyone's like, oh, these are the best Spider-Man movies. We reviewed them. We decided they're not.
Yes.
The same with... We had the same revelation as we had with the Dark Knight trilogy as well. We're like, what are we talking about best superhero movies? these aren't even the best Batman movies.
No.
And there's The Dark Knight's the best movie ever. It's not even the best in that trilogy.
Yeah.
So can we shut up? You're talking about Heath Ledger, and I think people are talking about Willem Dafoe, and they're talking about help
Doc
me. Yes, what's his name? Alfred Molina.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think it's a very similar thing. People are remembering these, and they're remembering the scene on the train from Spider-Man 2. And they're equating that to Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man. Wrong. Like, just wrong. He doesn't get anywhere near the level of cockiness as Spider-Man that he needs. The jokes that are terrible, and they're meant to be, so that's fine. But they're so infrequent, and they're said with such boredom. And all he does is cry. Sure, I will say that Tobey Maguire got the level of nerdiness from Peter Parker right, especially for the time. I would say Tom Holland does a great job of doing what a modern day nerd is. Yeah. But overall, I just think like it's not fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean that's the main selling point for me with all of this. Hello, Sammy. Is that Tom Holland is just fun to watch.
Yep,
and he's in everything. Like I think everyone loves Tom Holland.
But before we move on, going to then Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield is a great Spider-Man. I think he's an awful Peter Parker. Like his awkwardness comes from that he just doesn't know how to speak. He can't speak. But fuck me.
But the weird thing is, there's something about Garfield I like. I find
like
him
his
enjoyable
Spider-Man.
to watch. Yeah, I like his Spider-Man.
I like his Spider-Man.
Like,
I think he's good. I just don't like his Peter Parker. Where I like both with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And
but the weird thing, we haven't got to it yet in this run through, but I think in No Way Home, the three of them together got the best out of each other.
Agreed, and that's because we only saw their Spider-Man, which was the best part.
Yeah.
We never really saw them as Peter Parker. We or at least we saw the Peter Parker where
in
they
Spider-Man
didn't have
mode.
To, yeah, exactly. We didn't have to pretend.
Yeah.
Or anything anymore. So we got absolutely. This was the best Spider-Man performance out of Andrew Garfield. I don't think the performance from Tobey Maguire was particularly true to his character as he created a Spider-Man. It was better.
Yes.
So I'm not using that as an insult, but
you can argue that as he's an older Spider-Man, he's developed though. You can
of
easily
course,
just make that.
Yeah. And I wasn't going that this isn't correct.
Yeah.
I was going, I'm actually enjoying watching Tobey Maguire. He seems to have wasted away, but I'm actually enjoying watching Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and the three of them together were great. But there is no contest in that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. I don't like.
But
if you want to bring that up as an argument, you're an idiot.
I agree, but I also think just the tones of the films are also like it works. I think there's so much they've got right with this. The theme music I fucking love. Like
that really, orchestral original 60s Spider-Man theme.
Really fucking good. Just the visual style of everything. I really like his suit. I like the way he moves. There's a great shot in this at one point when he's sat on like a fire escape balcony when he's eating his churro talking to Happy, and it's just like this cityscape behind him with the sunset, and it's just so clearly like a suburb of New York, and it just looks gorgeous, and it looks so Spider-Man. Visually, they've done such a good job in this film of capturing what Spider-Man is, and I like even that alone like is just very Spider-Man. I think they've done a really good job at capturing
it's the first Spider-Man that seems to remember he's from Queens.
Yep.
Because everything else he's always in Manhattan. And it says I would have liked to have seen a third Garfield movie. I wouldn't judge it, but largely because I knew where they were going. I knew what they were trying to do, and it was moving away from Spider-Man. Look at what they're doing at the moment. They're making a Kraven the Hunter movie where Kraven is an animal activist. This is a man that wears a lion.
Wears a lion in a zoo. They keep them in the zoo.
He wears a coat that is a lion's face cut in half. He is a hunter. He hunts things for sport. And the reason they're making movie about him when the only thing that brings him into the limelight is the fact that he wants to become the most famous hunter in the world by hunting Spider-Man. He's not a villain in his own right. He doesn't really care about anything else. He specifically wants the game of hunting Spider-Man. That is literally it. Sometimes he tag teams with like different members of the Sinister Six, but that's because he knows the end game is he gets to hunt Spider-Man. He doesn't care about anything else.
They don't hunt Spider-Man in Endgame.
I would you say he was craving?
I love that we're all on board with the shit jokes this evening. More of this.
I would be more on board if you spelled it right.
No. We're gonna have a fight again on stream, aren't we?
It's Kraven. You prick. Yeah, and like we know what Sony are like with movies, and by what Sony are like with movies, I mean unadulterated dog shit. I know it's spelled correct. Well, you should have spelled it right. Be nice. No. Not nice to me, therefore I'm not nice. I'm asking for it.
Good luck.
Good luck, and sure, take your 69 pence back from us. That's fine. I know how to be nice.
He does. He offered me some chocolates earlier. It's quite nice.
And some gok.
Fuck's sake.
But anyway, Sony are shit at making movies. Therefore, I wouldn't have liked to see a third Andrew Garfield movie because I know it would have just been even shitter than 2. And people who still think they're going to make a third one now after No Way Home are fucking idiots. It's been a year and a half and there's been no inkling of it. It would have happened by now. Goodbye.
Anyway, so I think this is really good. I think this film is otherwise very good all round. I do think this film has the best twist reveal in the MCU.
I agree. Just to clarify,
really
I was actually
good.
calling Chris a prick. I realised the confusion. I was actually calling Chris a prick. I wasn't calling you a prick.
Why am I the prick?
It was just part of the joke.
I don't understand how I'm not getting into it. You bastard.
Bastard.
I wasn't. I was calling Hannah a bastard. Oh dear. I wasn't, but the joke had to be formed in that way.
No. I think that was understood.
Also, do you know what's that's really annoying? While I'm on this tangent, I put the go live notification is what have I told you about using the bell for comedic purposes. I'm really annoyed because I thought of this earlier and forgot. But in my mum's kitchen is a dingy bell. And I was fully intending on bringing it over just to continuously do that. And I forgot. I'm really annoyed. But I'm going to tell you all about it. And you can pretend that I'm hitting a bell on the table. Painful.
3 p.m. CST? What is CST?
Central something time.
Sprite time? 1500 military time. Do you call it military time? Do you fucking call it?
He means 1500 hours is what he's saying.
Yeah, I know. But that's just 3 o'clock.
Anyway.
We would call it a 24-hour clock. We wouldn't say 1500 military time. Sorry, I don't mean to take the piss out of everyone. I'm just in that mood. Carry on.
I've lost my train of thought. Spider-Man. It's good.
Bell.
Spider-Man's good.
You're talking about bells?
Yep, I was talking about bells on the table. Spider-Man's good. That's what I'm going for. I think it's a good film. You go. What are your general thoughts now we've been talking about this for 19 minutes?
I really like this movie. I think it is one of the best movies of the MCU, I think.
I think this stint...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Other than last week, dog shit. But this, I think going forward...
The next few are all pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's hard to find problems with the next few. And there's not much. I personally don't like Flash, as I said. I think... There is it remove unless they do a really fucking weird, hard, sudden character development change on that version of Flash. We're not getting a particular thing that I like. and that is Agent Venom. To be fair, Sony would have to be involved in that anyway, so it'd probably be like Agent Bob or something. There is actually Hydra Bob. But I think as you say, greatest twist in all of the MCU. One of the greatest villains in all of the MCU.
It's not just the twist; it's the way it reveals it to you. It's so good.
I always feel like the reveal is part of the twist.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like, it really sells it.
Mm-hmm.
It drives it home in such a way because there's a tiny hint at the beginning that the guys have got a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When you first meet him at the beginning in the 2012 sequence.
Timeline's wrong, but
yes, I'm aware of the timeline issue. He's got a drawing that his kid's done. So there's that, but that is it. There is otherwise not really any obvious ties. They make comments like about
they make comments about his wife. They make comments
stuff
about
like
his,
that. And he's
family.
got a family, but that's it. And I think, given that we're at that point in the story as well, for it to happen, like Peter is fucked up, chasing after this guy. He's lost the Stark thing. Suit's been taken away. He's down and out, but he's using the fact he's got this date with Liz to push himself and keep going. And you have like this happy montage leading up to it of him and May prepping for this date and whatnot, and he's being happy and excited about something. And the music is so upbeat and like pumpy and whatnot, and he opens the door and it just the music, everything drops out. He opens the door and it's just that reveal of the way that it's shot as well. You just see the door open for Michael Keaton standing there.
Yeah, I
it's
love
just really good.
I love the fact that it's out of nowhere, but they justified the entire fucking thing.
Oh yeah,
like it's not like, wait, what? Like you watch some movies and there's a twist and you're just like, that doesn't actually make any sense.
Yeah.
But this, they laid the groundwork for this. They laid enough groundwork. All they needed to say was, he has a kid.
Yeah. And then otherwise it's perfectly plausible.
Oh, to be fair, you never even actually, I think why this is so perfect is you never actually needed to do anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You didn't even need to say he has a kid. You could just like, oh, okay, he has a kid. No, that's not exactly like, oh, that's physically impossible for him to have had a child. So I think that's why it worked so well, because anyone who claims they figured that out is a fucking liar.
Agreed.
They just want to be. Oh yes, I worked it out because of this clue. Well, they had a kid. It
No,
could
you
have been
didn't.
any of them.
You're a liar, sir.
could have been
Oh wait, no, that's why I need the bell. That is false.
That is false.
Unbelievable.
But yes,
it's great. It's really good. And then that whole
agog.
It's a good word. The whole sequence. I was agog.
I've just never heard it before.
Oh, agog, aghast.
I've heard aghast.
Yeah.
It's not agog.
The whole sequence though after that of like Peter just being like completely discombobulated by the entire thing, and I love the car sequence.
Yep.
Of the way they reveal him working, the Vulture working.
Oh,
out.
well, just with the traffic lights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the traffic light thing, and then there's the green just as he turns into the Vulture. The light
the
goes
green when it goes green when he figures out that he's Spider-Man.
But then that's when he starts talking to him like Vulture, and it's so good. It's so very good, and I like the way it's all delivered with the dialogue as well, of just these little bits of a perfectly natural, normal, innocent conversation that Liz would be having with him, and how he's just piecing it together. And the focus of that as well, the way it's shot, the focus is all on Keaton. Mm-hmm. It's not on Liz and Peter having a conversation. It's all on him working it out, and it's all like the rest is just secondary in the background. It's not, the camera's not really on them. The audio's a bit lower. The focus is on Keaton processing it, and I think it's really well done.
I think this might be one of Keaton's greatest performances.
Yeah, I buy that.
He's fucking remarkable. I don't think I've ever seen a Michael Keaton performance and gone, hey, he phoned it in. I think Michael Keaton is one of those people where you're just like, I'm happy he's here. I'm happy he's in this movie. There's a movie called Spotlight that I quite like. He's fucking phenomenal in that. Obviously, Beetlejuice. Obviously, Batman. He's in Birdman. Never watched that. Couldn't care, really. Didn't care about Birdman. So I was just like, I'm not going to bother. So I didn't watch it. But apparently it's very good. So who knows? But Michael Keaton is just incredible. He's a great win, and I think it's mildly disappointing that we haven't really had him back, and I hope we get him back.
Well, he turns up in Venom 2, doesn't he? I think
He turns up in a post-credit scene in Morbius which isn't even in the MCU,
no, I know,
so it doesn't make any sense. Because even within the established Sony universe, he goes to another dimension.
Yeah.
Venom goes to... In the end of Venom 2... Spoilers! Fucking... apparently the Mackie D film is good. The Founder, it is real good. And Keaton is excellent in it. Nick Offerman's in that as well, so always...
Yes, I'd like to watch that. I've seen clips and it looks good.
It is good. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, spoilers for Venom 2. There's post-credit scene. Oh, it's the post-credit scene for No Way Home as well. There's kind of like a combination.
Yeah.
Thing. Post-credit scene for Venom 2 is there's some weird like outside the window, and Venom just appears in this universe, and the revelation of Peter Parker as Spider-Man is on the TV. Right? And then obviously you get the No Way Home post-credit scene where Venom is in the universe. He gets taken back, but a little blob is left behind. So even within Sony's context of movies, he is from another universe and is going to come in. And it's clearly being set up that we're going to get a different Venom.
Yeah.
So the fact that Morbius is completely baffling because they had a picture, a spray-painted image of Spider-Man.
PS4 Spider-Man.
No. It was Sam Raimi's
Oh, you're
Spider-Man
right. Yeah.
using a still of somebody wearing that suit in the PS4 game. It was just a screenshot of the Spider-Man game where someone had selected the Raimi suit. And you're supposedly in... like, all of the Sony movies to do with... like, Marvel should just sue Sony at this point. Just take it back. Don't even buy them. Don't even give them the privilege of trying to buy them. Just sue... You couldn't. There is no grounds. But it would be nice if Marvel just went, you know what? I've had fucking enough of this. I don't care. You're ruining everything I've created. Basically what we need to do is resurrect Stan Lee and get him to have words.
Stan Lee's cameo in this film, not so good.
I quite like it. As your mother.
It feels weird. It felt really disconjointed. It was odd.
Marjorie, how you doing? How's your mother?
It was odd. It was odd.
They're all odd. I think this is one of the less forced ones. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of the worst ones.
I don't remember
Well,
what
the
it is.
60s were good, but now I'm paying for it. I just think it's too long of a line for the joke.
My favourite one is the one from Guardians 2 where he's seemingly talking to someone on a planet about the fact he's done cameos.
The Watcher, yeah. He's talking to the Watchers.
Yeah, I enjoy
The
that he's
guys
just
from
talking
What
about.
If.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy he's talking about his cameos.
I think he's kind of
good.
implying that he is a Watcher. Yeah, I like that one as well. That is a good one. That's probably the best thing about that dog shit movie. It's probably filmed before the rest of the film. He's usually on set, to be fair. But I say he was usually on set before this terribleness of terribleness. Deadpool 1 cameo, that was a good one. The Deadpool cameo for Stanley.
Mainly because there was some tits on the screen.
Tits! Came here for tits!
Oh dear.
Nearly 5 years of this channel and not a single tit.
There are two big tits on the channel regularly.
Yeah, these ones.
I'm saving so many clips.
Are you? What were you saying?
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Tits?
Tits! Spider-Man Homecoming.
Tits!
I forgot the point I was about to make. Fuck.
I can't help you. Indeed.
Can't remember.
I like the fact that this is actually a much smaller...
More smaller contained story?
Yes.
Yep.
A much smaller... just sorting Morrison's delivery. Don't be too funny while I'm not here. I promise nothing. That's because we're better than you, Johnny.
Oh dear.
I'm warm. I'm delirious. What the fuck is happening? I'm having an aneurysm. That's what's happening.
Oh dear, no wonder we
I
can't.
like the fact that it's a smaller story and the main fucking thing is just, oh no, a plane. So, stop the thing. And it's nice for them to still be making Cap's shield, but even though he's off
Yep, I thought that.
doing his country.
Yep.
And
prototype for a new shield for Cap. Yep.
yeah, and a belt for Thor. I've never seen him wear a belt.
Well, no, because it got shot down on that plane.
If it's a magic belt, I'm sure it can survive. To be fair, I'm pretty sure a regular belt from Moss Bros would probably survive a plane crash. Like, there's not much that you can really damage on a belt.
True.
It's a long bit of leather.
This is true. You make a fair point. You do make a fair point. Jokes. There are many jokes in this that I'm a big fan of.
There are. I think all the Spider-Man movies have some pretty good jokes in them. I think Far From Home might have the dirtiest joke in it as well out of the entire MCU.
Which one?
It's a little bit tight around the web shooter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember so many innocent people just being like, oh, yeah, it's tight around his wrists. No. No. That's why he was pulling it down. I like the reason for losing the start suit and going back to basics.
Yeah.
He fucked it.
It feels earned.
It. Yeah.
It feels earned.
Yeah.
I do always feel like maybe Stark... What's happened?
We've dropped a red.
Oh, I see. I do feel like maybe Stark should have not pretended he wasn't paying attention. Because there's the bit at the end when he turns up at that point at the Staten Island thing, and he's like, I was listening, that's why I'm here, that's why I sent the feds, whatever it is, I was paying attention. It's like, maybe you should have just said to Peter...
Just take him seriously?
Yeah. Like, maybe just like don't pretend you're ignoring him and pushing him out. I feel like you kind of asked for him to react like this, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think all of that was on Stark.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think you can kind of avoid that by just helping from the get-go.
Yeah.
And not even just tell him you're calling the... I don't think that would have been enough for Peter, but just like...
I think even he's got to be right. I hear what you're saying. Good work. But stand down. Let me take it from here. Like, you're not ready for this.
Yeah.
Even at that point, he was like, let me come and assist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
Wait
don't
for
do this.
me.
Don't do this on your own. I've got your back.
Me.
Wait for then. I feel like he then goes, right, okay, because all he wants is to work with Stark. Really, it's always the whole way through it. He's talking about. He's like, can I just talk to Mr. Stark, please? Like, he just wants to talk to Stark. He just wants to work with Stark. He just wants to prove himself. Which is the whole thing. Is he just wants to prove himself? That's where everything comes from. He's like.
Also, how's he so... What's he doing? Why is he so busy?
Who?
Stark.
Well, he's a multi-billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Yeah, but what's he doing?
He's going to parties in India.
Doesn't count as busy.
It does if you're Tony Stark.
Not if you're being called with a hero in peril. Peril is my word at the moment.
That's like peril's your word of the week, isn't it?
I'm often in peril in video games at the moment.
Fortnite.
Video games. We don't talk about that one. Last of Us is what I was talking about. Rat King, peril. Actually, no, not anymore, because I just turned one shot on. This is Rat King. No, Rat King. I'm not going to explain anything else about Rat King, because I just realised I'm talking about Last of Us Part 2.
Peril.
Oh, yes. I feel like you are an Avenger. If there's another hero, a colleague, if you will,
At least send another Avenger.
At least going peril, then you go, hello, at the very fucking
Yeah, I feel like he
least.
could have at least sent another Avenger.
And you don't use your wife's assistant,
Yeah.
your wife's head of security,
Yeah. No, I see
as
what
your
you're saying.
liaison. I feel like you weren't doing anything. There were no things happening that you were off avenging. Buddy boy fucked off anyway, so you haven't really been doing much. You were just, for some reason, driving in India. For some strange, unexplained reason. So I think mildly unacceptable. Tony Stark's behaviour across the board.
I agree. Yeah. I don't feel like Sammy says unless he told Happy to say something and Happy just didn't. That doesn't. Happy would do as he's told. I feel like Happy would do it begrudgingly, but he would do it. He'd be like.
Although he has been told to liaise with Peter, and he couldn't.
This
care
is
less.
true. He did.
The only time he starts getting interested is when he gets his willy wet with his aunt.
Yeah, fair point.
Let me clarify. Peter's aunt, not Happy's aunt.
I really like the vlog at the beginning.
10 out of 10. On its own, best thing in the MCU, I think.
It's really good.
This is the best movie in the MCU. Oh, he's big now. I gotta go. Just. The shot where he flips in and takes the shield, it's a bit weird. It looks a bit weird.
It's fucking cool though.
Oh, it's cool as hell. But like the physics of it look a bit janky.
Yeah.
But it's still
the physics
cool
of all of this stuff in these films look a bit janky. Like
it looks. It is janky because obviously like
it ain't real.
Well, yeah, because it isn't real. But also like if you were to get kicked by Captain America, you're just dead, and you jam is what you would become. But no, you just fly into a wall, and obviously the shield would just decapitate you at every possible moment. But yeah, that in particular just looked a bit weird. And there's a bit the first time you really see him swinging about in the town, and there's a bit that hoppy with the hey ho. That looks a bit weird.
I really enjoy in that sort of one of the beginning montages where he's swinging around being his friendly neighborhood, where he fucks up his swing and just face plants onto it, because it kind of feels like a bit of a callback to the Maguire movie in a way, to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not intentionally, but that's how it felt to me, like a little bit of a callback to Maguire flying into the sign. Also, here's a question I have: did the lady only buy him one churro? I feel like that's stingy. I feel like churros
are they bigger? In America,
no,
everything else is bigger.
Mind you, I think about it, when I went to America and we bought churro, we got one churro. Maybe that's just the way they do it out there. You buy a single churro.
Yeah, but churros over here are like this, aren't they?
Yeah,
and in there folded. Are they not just like more like hot dog sized?
Yeah, I suppose the one we had was larger.
I imagine that's just a churro. We just get fast food churros, and they're always stingy in fast food.
Yeah, you make a fair point.
Like Taco Bell tacos are about this big.
Yeah, but Taco Bell churros aren't churros.
Yes, I know. They're fucking.
They're cinnamon quavers.
Yes, yeah. I agree. I saw this in 3D. Spidey looked like a toy. Why would you ever watch anything in 3D?
Oh, there was a phase. There was a phase of 3D.
Not in 2017.
I feel like it was just coming out around. It was just ending.
The 3D phase?
Yeah,
it was like 2011.
No, I don't think so. No, 3D phase was ending around now. Because I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember the 3D phase being like 8 years.
Oh, no, actually, think about it. You're right. Because this is like 4K Blu-ray era. This is when I started buying 4K Blu-rays. You're right. This 3D phase would have ended by now.
Yeah.
You are correct.
This is one of 2 films I've ever seen in 3D. You made the mistake twice!
I have seen many films in 3D.
Only IMAX 3D, though.
No, I went for a phase of 3D. We had a 3D TV, so I went for a phase of 3D films.
I've never watched a 3D movie at home. I had a 3D TV. I actually opened the packet, and I got rid of the 3D glasses like immediately. Right. I was just like, this is never going to happen.
Was yours was it one of the active ones, or was it the passive ones where you could use the cinema glasses?
What?
So there were 2 types of 3D TVs. Some were the real D 3D, where you passive, where you could just use the same glasses you got at the cinema. Or some were active, where you had batteries in the glasses, and there was a little lens that moved and flickered.
Oh, no.
They were fucking fucked.
Yeah, no, it was just there were 3D glasses.
Yeah, got you. So, Hannah says...
No. I did have to turn on the glasses.
All right, she had an active TV.
Yeah.
They weren't as good. The passive ones work better. Hannah says what happened to 3D TVs? Fad just wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Most people
no one cared.
I think the problem is a lot of people can't see it properly.
Yeah.
And if you're not sat at the correct angle and the correct distance, it doesn't work. So that became why wouldn't I just watch this normally?
So that even limits it even further. Considering 1 in maybe a billion people give a shit about. I reckon about 8 people on Earth care about 3D.
I really liked it for a while. There were some films where it worked really well, and I think it looked really effective, and I was enjoying it for a while. But then I just slowly started to go off it, and then when 4K started to become more readily available, I was like, "This looks better, is less of a faff, and is more consistent. Why wouldn't I just gonna watch this?"
Yeah, I don't mind IMAX 3D. I would much prefer an IMAX 2D movie. But so I don't want to have to wear glasses. Well, like, I don't wear glasses. I mean, I do have glasses, but I'm one of these rare people where I took an eye test and my eyes had gotten better.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Yeah. So I don't need to wear glasses anymore. But so I don't want to have to then be like, you have to put these on to watch a movie. It's like, this is the time where most people want to take them off. 3D is also a bit of a faff because it's a pain in the arse for people who do need to wear glasses to watch a movie. So it's pointless. It's stupid. It's a phase, an utter fad of a situation. So that's why. That's what happened to 3D TV.
I think 3D technology will actually come back at the point when they work out being able to just have it in the screens
without needing glasses.
And it can be consistent. And I think at that point it would probably be successful.
I agree. At least more successful.
Because I think when it worked, I think it looked really good and quite effective when it was used correctly and when it worked.
I think the thing is, people don't know how to use it correctly, and also don't care enough to try, or lean too hard into the fact that it's 3D and make a gimmick out of it.
Yes.
You always knew that it was going to be fucking dog shit when 3D was in the title of the movie. You're like, oh, fuck off. Make a film, not a 3D thing. You don't go to a movie and it's called like John Wick IMAX. John Wick Screen X. It's just, no, it's John Wick. You're going to go and watch it in IMAX. You watch it in 4K. It's not. I didn't the other day go and see John Wick Chapter 4K.
Because that's surprised that's not how they've marketed it, though. That's the sort of thing the industry has historically done, isn't it?
Definitely
Spy
a film
Kids
worth watching
3D.
in IMAX, though. But because of how many movies are coming out at the moment, they're all just fucking piled onto each other. You have a very limited window to go and see things in IMAX. Yeah. I'm pretty certain John Wick is already out of IMAX.
It's a shame.
Because Dungeons & Dragons came out, which I still need to go and see. But, AC, you'll never watch this, but you're a dick because you never replied to text.
I concur. Fucking dick, Asa.
Yeah, it's not an IMAX anymore. It's been out a week. Just over a week.
Sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I forgot what we were saying about Spider-Man.
God knows, that was about an hour ago.
Yeah. Good movie. Stronger end of the MCU spectrum, I think. We'll find that out in a second. The problem is always the case. It's hard to talk about it when there's not, like...
We're not the best at talking about good things.
Yeah.
We're fantastic at bitching.
Yeah, and there's not much to bitch about.
No, not really.
Most of this film is fucking excellent. Mm-hmm. There's a few bits like, maybe that didn't quite land, but whatever.
Martin Starr is phenomenal.
But everything works.
Can't lose a student on a field trip. Not again.
It's really good. It's really good. Do you know what else I like? I forgot the subtle introduction of Zendaya.
Was her first line "You guys are weird"?
Yeah, but she's like not really in the film. Like she's there.
She's present.
But she's excellent. She's excellent, but she's not relevant to anything. It's just setting her up for later, which is an obvious. It's like, well, she's a big star, so she's clearly going to be more present.
Was she at the time?
Yeah, from Disney Channel and stuff.
It's very like...
She's not as big. She wasn't as big then as she is now, but she was a known name.
But to anyone over the age of 12?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she was a known name. Because I knew who she was.
Okay. I had no idea who she was. That doesn't...
Right.
This is why I'm asking. It's a great...
Hannah says...
Hannah
says, I realised today I have absolutely no idea what her surname is. It's not. Her name is Zendaya. Just a stage name. I think her real name is not even Zendaya. I think that's her middle name. So let's check. Let's go to the old...
You say not my MJ. She's significantly better than Kirsten Dunst, that's for sure.
Oh, no, her first name is Zendaya. It's Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman. But
that was longer than Order of the Phoenix.
But she goes by the name Zendaya because that name is obnoxious.
There are many people that go by surnames. Do you know Jack Black's name isn't Jack?
I didn't know that. Is it true?
Spider-Man.
I believe his name isn't Black, but I feel like Fuck, his name's Thomas.
Yeah.
Fuck me in the dick.
His name's Thomas Black. Isn't it?
Yeah, Thomas Jacob Black.
Yeah.
What's Carl Gass's real name? It can't be Carl Gass.
Kevin Methane.
Carl Richard Gass, I see.
How many gases were Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. What? So what is what? What are you talking about? Oh, the animated series. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean by TAS?
Possibly.
You say she has the best MJ, but it's yeah, okay. But she's literally just a damsel in distress.
I haven't seen it.
That's all she is.
I mean, she's not. Zendaya in this isn't MJ. She's not Mary Jane. It's a different.
She's MJ though.
Her name's MJ, but she's not MJ.
She's clearly meant to be though.
Yeah, but she's not Mary Jane. It's a different cast. My point.
Yeah,
It's a different.
yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
different character. Like they're putting her in the same position, and using her the same way, but it's a different character. It's not Mary Jane.
No, I agree.
So I think it's okay. I think it doesn't matter. And I like Michelle. I like her character. I like this MJ as a character. So I'm quite happy with it. But for me, it's more the case. Like she doesn't do anything in this film. She's there. She makes a few quips, funny quips, very entertaining, but otherwise isn't really present. Doesn't really get used properly to the end in that scene. And she's like, my friends call me MJ. Also, by
It's a
the
weird
way,
line because they are her only friends, and she makes that pretty clear.
Yeah. But like, she's just saying that she wants to be called MJ. She's
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah,
She
yeah,
talks
yeah,
weird,
I
doesn't
know,
she?
I
It's
know.
how she is.
Where are you going?
But I do like the line of, my friends call me MJ. If what you said you didn't have any friends, like I didn't, and it's kind of like a saying, yeah, but I kind of like you guys, and please call. I think they're saying I kind of like you guys. I'd like you to please call me MJ. I think that's what it is, and her way of doing it because she struggles to open up, and that's what her character development is over the next couple of movies is her opening up more, and you
Learning
get
how to suck face with Tom Holland.
Well, she gives Tom Holland a little look at the end when because he's like, I gotta go. He's like, well, what are you doing? But as he leaves, she gives him a little look, and if anyone ever looked at me like that, I'd be very happy. If Zendaya looked at me like that,
You'd drop everything.
I'd be very, very happy. But then I was also thinking, I was like, I would also look at Tom Holland like that, so I understand.
Yeah, but imagine if Tom Holland looked at you like that. That's. I don't know what you were just trying to do then.
I'm trying to take the ring off.
Oh, there was someone high up in the writing of this movie who decided they liked looking at Tom Holland in nothing but his boxes.
I agree.
I
feel like everyone on the crew.
twice. So they made him do it twice. 0 complaints. Because he's pretty built.
Yeah, he's a specimen.
And unlike most of the other actors in this movie, that wasn't a Marvel thing. He just was. He just was that. Bit weird with the age of this character. Yeah, but it's not weird with the age of the actor, though.
Yeah, so I'm okay with it.
Tom Holland is much closer to my age than...
So, no dramas.
so it's fine. It's fine. I'm not talking about fucking Peter Parker. I'm talking about fucking Tom Holland. And he's well into his 20s. He's like 26. That's fine. What?
Nothing, I was laughing. I'm making my own jokes in my head, really. I'm just not saying them on air. Anyways, do you want to score this movie? Should we score it?
Yeah!
I'm going to write down the time code because I always fucking forget. Right, what would you score this? Funny you should say that.
It's a bit good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's an obvious one. I was thinking that earlier watching it. I don't know why it's obviously an 8, but I feel like it's obviously an 8.
There's nothing inherently wrong
No.
with the film.
8 is a really good score.
It is, yeah, for 100%. But I don't think it... despite the fact that there is nothing wrong with this movie in any way.
There is nothing mind-blowingly outstanding.
Other than, I think the twist, kind of elevates it a little bit. I think the one thing that is inherently wrong, actually, the thing that annoys me is the timeline. Because that's
a
just
weird...
Sony not paying any fucking attention to the franchises.
Because they say it's 8 years later, which would make this as 2020.
Yeah, it sets it after Infinity War.
Yeah.
We know Infinity War is in 2018.
Yeah.
So it sets this after.
I'm sure I read somewhere that that there's a version where they fix it.
Quite possibly. But yeah, I think...
Not Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming
I think there is...
timeline.
Just those little bits that keep it down from being a 9.
Marvel has released an official MCU timeline to clear up the Spider-Man Homecoming mistake.
Oh, so they didn't release a version of the movie, they just released the timeline.
Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige promised that he would get an official MCU timeline.
Hello.
This is very... So, just that Marvel, so Disney have said that it's set in 2016. And it basically...
Yeah, because we know Civil War... We knew Civil War was set in 2016, and it's set like 2 months later. But the very beginning is set like a day later, or whatever it was, a week later, or whatever. And then, yeah. Anything that was not directly affecting the main MCU arc, I couldn't really care about it when it's set. Doesn't matter, but it's also like it needs to make sense. This is clearly before Infinity War in the story, so therefore it can't be set afterwards. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a weird thing to say if it's not directly affecting the main MCU arc. I wouldn't really care about it when it's set. It is I'd say it's affecting the main MCU arc. It's part of the main MCU arc. This is about where that character is at that time for him to progress to be where he is at the next point. So I think it is incredibly crucial because it just is. It's set in it, and it's nothing more than an admin error when they made the film. As you say, it was Sony not paying attention.
It's Sony
and not communicating with Disney. That'd be what it is.
Most of the elements, like the film itself, would have been made primarily by Marvel. Why do you think the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are the only good things?
Also, the
Sony
sheer amount of Disney property that's in it.
Yeah.
Because you've got Captain America's in it, Iron Man's in it, Pepper Potts is in it, Happy's in it. These are all Disney characters. You've got, they mention the Vision, they mention Hulk, and all these other, and mention Thor. Like, then
there is more Disney IP in this.
They go to the Avengers campus, and we get, by the way, this is the first time we see the new Avengers campus since it's been fully rebuilt in a Sony movie. That's the first time we see the new Avengers campus is in a Sony movie. They're going to do an Avengers reveal. There's the Avengers logos fucking everywhere. There is, as you say, there is more Disney IP in this movie than there is Sony IP.
Yeah. I reckon if they changed the title of this movie, if they just called it Homecoming, they wouldn't have had to do anything because they had an agreement where they could use Spider-Man. Yeah. I think they could have just made this exact movie and not called it Spider-Man. Because there's so much Disney
It's probably
IP
just that there was a element of their I imagine at the time the agreement they had with Sony was to be able to use Spider-Man. Sony were able to make some solo Spider-Man movies within that universe, and there was a deal within that of how that would work that Sony would publish them. Which we know that deal was
the rights, that's why. Yeah. So it'll be Sony fund most of it.
Yeah. Which we know has now changed. We know the new deal after it all broke down is
50/50.
Disney. Yeah, Disney fund much more.
Yeah, it's 50-50. But yeah, Sony fund most of this, but Marvel make it. But that also meant that Disney got most of the profits. But they don't care. It made less than most of the movies that did Marvel. Yeah, so that's essentially what we're saying. They make some money. They basically make the percentage equivalent of what they put in. I'm pretty sure that's how the old deal worked, and then the new deal is 50-50, despite the fact I think that ended after No Way Home, didn't it? Or was that, or No Way Home was the result?
It was after No Way Home as a result of it. It was during kind of like the Infinity War era.
Yeah. And now we're doing it again, essentially, because Tom Holland hasn't signed a new as far as we're aware.
As far as we know, yeah, he will. He'll do more.
I'm sure he will. But he just didn't. It was just that after No Way Home, he announced he was taking a break from acting. Fair enough.
That's just, I'm not doing anything because he did a fucking shit ton of stuff back to back.
Oh, yeah. I imagine he's fucking knackered.
And probably wants to spend his fortune.
Yes. And at the time, I imagine he wanted to...
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking because I was thinking the same thing.
Although she didn't take a break. So there you go. Where would we rank this movie? Bring up the ranking.
Wait. I need to before I do any ranking with an R, I need to write down the ranking.
Right, so at number 1, we have Civil War. At number 2, we have Winter Soldier. At number 3, we have Age of Ultron. At number 4, we have Avengers. Number 5, we have Iron Man 3. Number 6, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 7, we have Iron Man. 8, Ant-Man. 9, Doctor Strange. 10, Thor. 11, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 12, Iron Man 2. 13, The First Avenger, Captain America, The First Avenger. At number 29, The Incredible Hulk. At number 30, Thor, The Dark World. Where would you put this movie?
5.
Agreed.
How's this been so easy this evening?
It's not better than the Avengers. If anything, I would put it joint 4th, probably. I like this, I think, on par with the Avengers. I think Avengers is a really good movie, but I feel the nostalgia and the fact that it was the first one of its kind.
It gives it a little thing. For me as well, watching the Avengers always, like, it has those goosebump moments for me.
Yeah, because obviously it's a memory sort of thing. I reckon if you saw this movie for the first time,
but it's also
afterwards,
it's got a different like epic level to it of that big fight at the end.
It's
which this film doesn't have that
No.
grand epic nature, which isn't a bad thing. But I do think Avengers End just nips it at the post.
I agree. So yeah, 5 above Iron Man 3, below Avengers.
Well, there you go. Which makes the new ranking: in first place, Civil War; second place, Winter Soldier; third place, Age of Ultron; fourth place, Avengers; 5, Spider-Man: Homecoming; and number 6, Iron Man 3, and so on and so forth.
Coming up on the channel. After this, don't go anywhere. Continue to hang out with us. We'll be playing some Resident Evil 4, providing it's finished installing on the
We
other
will
end.
either be playing Resident Evil 4 or we'll be playing Fortnite, depending on what's happening with the console. But the stream will end and restart.
For why?
Because it doesn't let me fuck with shit when it's on air still. This is what I learned the other week. So I have
Isn't that what studio mode is for?
No, it won't let me change the settings I need to change.
Oh, the delay and
Yeah.
things. Yeah, okay. So the
It
stream,
doesn't let
we
me
will
do
be
that.
back, but the stream will... Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. So I'll leave. What I'll do is I will end the stream pretty much as we end, and it will go quiet for about. It will go dead for about half hour or so, probably while we set up. Maybe a
Half
little bit
hour?
less. I don't know. The game might still be being a wank poo.
Well, half hour.
Well, okay, we'll go quiet for a little bit, and then just keep your eye out. It will come back up, rejoin. The idle thing will be up where you can watch all our old videos, and then we'll be playing either Resident Evil and doing a poo, or we'll be playing Fortnite and doing a poo.
Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully Resident Evil, because I'm looking forward to playing Resident Evil. Maybe there'll be another big hairy man.
Maybe. I kind of want to do both, because I really want to play Fortnite.
As you said, though, even if we stream
This is
Resident
true.
4,
This is true.
I'm not going anywhere until,
Yeah.
like, God knows what, so we'll just play it afterwards.
Yeah, no, this is true. You make a fair point.
It's fine. Rich, can you play Fortnite split screen?
Oh, heavens.
Ooh, heavens, a big hairy man. I've got a sneeze brewing. But otherwise, coming
That's
up
you.
on the channel...
Nope. Oh, well, that's that pan out of the window. How do you know we play it with your boy?
Upstairs. 2 consoles.
Oh, well, we weren't playing Fortnite. You'd have to just go home.
We could just take turns.
That's not as fun. That means you'd have to play singles.
Oh, that's true.
That's not a thing I want to do.
Make the wife wait outside.
Yeah, I was
He's
going
got
to
2
say,
PlayStations.
we could just kick the wife off a console.
But then we'd still have to sit in separate rooms, so
Yeah.
what is the point
So you
of
may
this
as well
thing?
go home.
But if we do end up having to play Fortnite on stream, we'll just get rich.
Yes, this is true.
We'll just get father. Get him to drive home quickly and play from that. To be fair, I probably could get home in the amount of time it would take to set up.
Yeah.
I would have broken laws.
Resi is the
Is the
primary.
plan.
Yeah.
But anyway, other than that, coming up on the channel, I don't think there's anything else until next week where Richard, of course, father, will be gaming with daddy. Until someone gives me a name, I have employed gaming with
Rich
daddy.
called it with that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's because I put it in the chat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So someone gives me a name, I will be calling it Gaming with Daddy. I imagine it'll probably end up being Fortnite again, because those streams have been a lot of fun.
And apparently we all like Fortnite now.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know which version of us died in a parallel
It's
universe.
what I said yesterday. It shows how dire the game industry has gotten. That it not only has it resulted in us playing Fortnite, it's resulted in us enjoying it.
Yeah, I think this proves there is no God.
Yeah.
I think this is scientific proof, quite frankly. But then after that, next week is a fucking exciting one because it's Thor motherfucking Ragnarok next week. And that is a good time.
Yeah.
That movie is a good time. Don't need. I'm made of rock, but don't be afraid unless you're made of scissors.
My God, the hammer pulled you off.
The ground.
Fucking hell.
Get lost, ghost.
This whole room is a circle.
Oh, piss off, ghost.
Kind of a freaky circle. Fucking love that film.
Oh, Doug's dead.
Yeah. Well done,
if
new
only
Doug.
Taika Waititi hadn't fucking lost his mind.
Yeah.
That would have been so good to get another Ragnarok, but no, we got Love and fucking Thunder. But anyway, hot short-haired Thor. He is a very attractive man, Chris Hemsworth, isn't he? With the short hair.
He is.
There's something about the scar in the side of his head as well that it's just
yeah.
and just the yeah, just all of it, all of him.
He is proof that God is real.
You're right, I think.
Only could have been crafted by an almighty being.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Too perfect.
I'd say the same for Chris Evans as well.
Yeah.
Especially Infinity War.
I've said many times before, I would happily let all of the Avengers cast line up and take it in turns.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Be great for views as well.
Would.
That
Yeah.
would be wood. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough talking about how we would like to be sodomized by the Avengers. We're going to go and switch over to gaming mode. Please stick around because we'll still be chatting and you might get to watch us be scared. Because Resident Evil and zombies and big hairy men.
Until next time, we shall see you then.